Hi friends, today we are going to learn about pesticide formulation, which means mixture of chemicals which control pest. First we go through what is pesticide formulation. It is a mixture of active and inert ingredients which help to make final product simpler, safer and more effective to apply against a target pest. Then the picture telling to us the mixing of active ingredients and inert ingredients like surfactants, solvents, emulsifiers, deformer, stabilizer, antimicrobials, antifreeze, pigments or colorants, buffers, etc. which will make commercial product. Then why we formulating pesticide? Which help easy handling, storage, applications, effectiveness and safety active. Then the ingredient is rarely suitable for field application, so they are formulated in a manner that increase pesticide effectiveness in the field. Then let's go through different terminology for formulation. First one, active ingredients, which is the actual chemical in the product mixture that control the pest. Then inert ingredients, it is the additional materials added with the active ingredient when the product is formulated. Then formulation, it is the way of pesticide is prepared for practical use. Then carrier, inert liquid or solid added to an active ingredient to prepare a pesticide formulation. Then diluent, it is a liquid or solid material used to dilute an active ingredient. In liquid formulation, water or oil used as diluent, and in dry formulation, talc, clay or other fine dust is used as diluent. Then emulsifier, which is a chemical that aids in suspending one liquid in another. Then emulsion, it is a mixture of one liquid in another liquid. Then wetting agent, a chemical which causes a liquid to contact surfaces more thoroughly. Then suspension, it is a mixture of fine solid particle in a liquid. Then soluble, it is also a substance dissolved in liquid. Then surfactants, which increases the emulsifying, dispersing, spreading and wetting properties of a formulation. Formulations are classified as solid, liquid on the basis of their physical state in the container at the time of purchase. First we go through liquid formulation. Most liquid formulation are diluted with water to make a finished spray. The three main types of liquid formulations are solutions, suspensions and emulsion. Besides this, there are water soluble concentrate, liquid bait, oil dispersion, invert emulsion, suspo emulsion, micro-emulsion, emulsion in water, etc. First we discuss the three main type of liquid formulation. First one, solution. It is made by dissolving a substance in a liquid. A true solution is a mixture that cannot be separated by a filter or other mechanical means. Normally, it will not separate or settle out into distinct parts after being mixed. Then, light can penetrate most solution. And second one is suspension. It is even mixture of very small solid particle throughout a liquid. A suspension formulation that has not been used for some time must be shaken well to mix the liquid and solid portion evenly before pouring it into the spray tank. Water is added to make a finished spray mixture. There must be enough agitation to keep the product evenly distributed in the spray tank during application. Most suspensions are cloudy or opaque. Light cannot pass through them. Then, third one is emulsion. It is a mixture of droplets of one liquid in another liquid. Each ingredient keeps its unique properties and identity. In an emulsion concentrate formulation, the active ingredient is dissolved in an oil-based solvent. An emulsifier allows the active ingredient and the solvent to mix evenly with water before application. Some agitation may be necessary in the spray tank to keep an emulsion from separating. As a rule, emulsions have a milky appearance. In the image we can see the first beaker solution, second one suspension and third one emulsion. Okay, then next. Friends, let's go through common liquid formulations. First one, emulsifiable concentrate. It is usually contain an oil soluble liquid as active ingredient, then a petroleum based solvent and an emulsifier or mixing agent. The mixing agent allows the active ingredient and the solvent in the formulation to mix with water. These form an emulsion. Then emulsifiable concentrates are versatile formulations that can be applied with many types of sprayers. The milky colored appearance when mixed with water is typical of emulsifiable concentrate. The milky color appearance we can see here. Then next, second one is solution. Here the active ingredients dissolve readily in a liquid solvent such as water or a petroleum based diluent. When mixed, they form a solution that does not settle out or separate. The formulations of this pesticide usually contain the active solvent and one or more other ingredients. Here we not using emulsifier. Then solutions are suitable for any type of sprayer and are registered for many sites. Then third one, ultra low volume solution formulation. It contains 100% active ingredient and diluted with only small amount of specified carrier. They are mainly used in outdoor applications such as agricultural, forestry, ornamental and mosquito control programs. Then their advantages are they are easy to handle, transport and store. Then they are remain in solution and only need little agitation. Next, not abrasive to equipment. Then will not plug screens and nozzles. Then leave little visible residue on treated surfaces. Then their disadvantages. They are difficult to keep pesticide on target. Then high drift hazard. Then specialized equipment required for field application. Then easily absorbed through skin of humans or animals. Then solvent may cause rubber or plastic hoses, gaskets and pump parts to deteriorate. Then calibration and application must be done very carefully because of the high concentration of active ingredient. Then fourth one, emulsions in water formulation. It is the dispersion of a liquid active ingredient in water. They have reduced dermal toxicity and lower potential for harming the environment. Then they are less likely to damage tender plant foliage because they do not contain the solvent found in EC formulation. Then concentrated aqueous emulsion formulations are stable emulsion of an insoluble liquid in continuous water phase. And the insoluble liquid can be either a liquid active ingredient or a solid active ingredient dissolved in a solvent. In the image, we can see in the first beaker, liquid active ingredient or a solid dissolved in a solvent combined with emulsifier. Then the second beaker, which is added with the aqueous phase, water combined with the emulsifier. Then which leads to EW formulation. That means concentrated emulsifier which is diluted and sprayed. Then last two, farmer dilutes EW before spraying. Then next, fifth one, flowables. Some active ingredients will not dissolve in either water or oil, so they are impregnated in a dry carrier such as clay, which is ground into fine powder. The powder is suspended in a small amount of liquid to make the thick liquid formulation. Advantages: easy to handle and measure, and easy to tank mix, and no dust exposure for applicator. Then disadvantages: it is low absorption into the skin, will settle, require moderate agitation, then may leave a visible residue. Then sixth one, micro-emulsion. A micro-emulsion is defined as a system of oil, water and surfactants that forms a single, optically clear and thermodynamically stable emulsion. I shall repeat once more. A micro-emulsion is defined as a system of oil, water and surfactants that forms a single, optically clear and thermodynamically stable emulsion. Micro-emulsions are water-based formulations with a very small emulsified droplet size. This makes the formulation transparent. They are thermodynamically stable over a wide temperature range due to this very fine droplet size, usually between 0.01 and 0.05 micrometer. Advantages for microemulsion are: they are thermodynamically stable, therefore have increased shelf life. Then low solvent level. Then easy to transport and store. Then high flash point and safe handling. Then improved efficacy due to solubilization of the active ingredient in the microdroplet. Then low viscosity, so easier to handle. The disadvantages of microemulsion are low active ingredient content and require high surfactant level to form tank mixture. Then in the image, liquid active ingredient or solid active dissolved in oil are mixed with aqueous phase, which produce water in oil emulsion or oil in water emulsion. Then next, seventh one, oil dispersion formulation. They are solid active ingredient dispersed in oil. The oil can vary from paraffinic to aromatic solvent type and vegetable oil or methylated seed oil. Ideally, the active ingredient is uniformly suspended in the oil phase. Then, oil dispersion are an excellent delivery system for water-sensitive active ingredients such as sulfonyl urease. However, oil dispersion have extended to other active ingredients due to their better spray retention, spreading and foliar uptake as the carrier oil often act as an adjuvant. Then next, eighth one, liquid bait. It's mainly used for insecticides and rodenticides. Liquid rodenticides are mixed with water and placed in bait station designed for this product. They have two major benefits. Liquid rodenticides are effective in controlling rodents, especially rats, in areas where they cannot find water. Then liquid insecticide baits are used primarily by the structural pest control industry for controlling ants and to lesser extent cockroach. Then they are packaged as ready to use sugar-based liquid placed inside bait station. Then liquid insecticide and baits have a number of advantages. They are very effective against certain species of sugar-feeding ants. These ants typically accept and transfer liquid baits into the ant colonies. However, some ants will not feed on liquid baits. Liquid baits also must be replaced often. Then, common liquid formulation are over here. We discussed emulsifiable concentrate, solutions, ultra low volume solution, emulsion in water, flowable, micro-emulsion, oil dispersion and liquid bait. Then next we go through solid or dry formulations. Solid formulations are of two types, ready to use formulations and dry concentrates, which must be mixed with water to be applied as spray, dust, granules and pellets are ready to use formulation, while wettable powders, dry flowable water dispersible granule, encapsulated granule and soluble powder are to be mixed with water. Then common solid formulations. First one, granule. This is a ready to use dry mixture of a small amount of active ingredient with inert carriers. Most are made by applying a liquid formulation of the active ingredient to cause particle of some porous material such as clay, sand or plant material. Then granule particles are much larger than dust particle. They can pass through 4 mesh sieve tube but not through an 80 mesh sieve tube. Then the amount of active ingredient usually ranges from 1 to 15%. They are most often used as soil treatment, applying through broadcasting method. Then granular formulations should always be used dry, never mixed with water. Granules should not be applied to frozen soil or on steep slopes. The relative large particle size of granules minimize drift potential and reduces inhalation hazard. Then after application, the active ingredient is slowly released. Rainfall or watering usually is needed to activate the product. Then granular formations are mostly used to apply chemical to the soil to control weeds, nematodes or soil insects. Then granular formations are used to deliver systemic pesticide which are taken up by plant roots. They also are used in aquatic situations to control mosquito larvae and aquatic weeds. Then advantages. They are ready to use, easy to apply, will fall through dense foliage, minimize drift potential, reduce inhalation and dermal hazard, simple application equipment. Then disadvantages of granules. Limited foliage use. They have needs moisture to activate its action. Then bulk quantities necessary, logistical problem. Then can be harmful to non-target organisms such as birds. Then difficult to spread uniformly around obstacles. Then second one, pellet. Pellets are similar to granules, but their manufacture is different. The active ingredient is combined with inert materials to form a slurry. This slurry is then extruded under pressure through a die and cut a desired length to produce a particles that is relatively uniform in size and shape, but is much larger than granule. Pellets are similar to granules as they are ready to use and they are applied in dry forms. Then pellets contain a small amount of active ingredient combined with inert carrier. Pelleted formulations may be applied through broadcasting method and are used for soil treatment. While drift is not a problem with this formulation, pellets should not be applied to frozen soil, steep slopes or in close proximity to root system. Pellets provide a high degree of applicator safety. Then advantages of pellets are they are ready to use, easily applied by hand, reduced applicator hazard, minimum drift potential, effective spot treatment method. Then disadvantages are active ingredients are expensive, bulk quantities necessary and logistical problem. Then difficult to spread uniformly around obstacle. And third one is dust. Most dust formulations are ready to use and contain a low percentage of active ingredients with very fine, dry, inert carrier made from talc, chalk, clay, nut hulls or volcanic ash. Dusts are always used dry and can easily drift to non-target site. They are used for seed treatment and sometimes for agricultural or home gardening application. In structures, dust formulations are used in cracks and crevices and for spot treatment to control insects such as cockroach, ants, etc. Then, advantages. Most are ready to use with no mixing. Effective where moisture from spray might cause damage. Then require simple equipment and effective in hard to reach indoor area. Disadvantages: easily drift off target during application, residue easily moved off target by air movement or by water. Then may irritate eyes, nose, throat and skin. Then will not stick to target surfaces. Then dampness can cause clogging and clumping. Then difficult to get an even distribution of particle on surfaces. Next, Bates formulation. Fourth one is Bates formulation. The bait formulation is an active ingredient mixed with food or another attractive substance. The bait either attract the pest or placed where the pest will find it. Pests are killed by eating the bait that contain the pesticide. The amount of active ingredient in most bait formulation is quite low, usually less than 5%. Then, the baits are used inside building to control ants, frogs, flies and other insects and rodents. Outdoor, they sometimes are used to control snails, slugs and insects such as ants and termites. Their main use is for control of vertebrate pests such as rodents, other mammals and birds. Then advantages. They are ready to use. Entire area need not be covered because pest goes to bait. Then control pests that move in and out of an area. Disadvantages are can be attractive to children and pets, may kill domestic animal and non-target wildlife outdoor. Pests may prefer the crop or other food than the bait. Then, dead vertebrates pests may cause odor problem. Fifth one is vegetable powders. Vegetable powders are dry, finely ground formulations that look like dust. They usually mixed with water to form a suspension for application as a spray. Vegetable powders contain 5 to 95% active ingredient by weight, usually 50% or more. Vegetable powders are finely ground solid, typically mineral clay, to which an active ingredient is sorbed. The particles do not dissolve in water. Then vegetable powders form a suspension rather than true solution when added to water. They settle out quickly unless constantly agitated to keep them suspended. They can be used for most pest problem and in most type of spray equipment where agitation is possible. Then advantages. They are easy to store, transport and handle. They are less likely than ECs. That means emulsifying concentrate and other petroleum based pesticide to cause unwanted harm to treated plants, animals and surfaces. Then they can easily measured and mixed. Then less skin and eye absorption than EC and other liquid formulation. Their disadvantages are inhalation hazard to applicator while measuring and mixing the concentrated powder. Then require good and constant agitation in the spray tank. Then abrasive to many types of pumps and nozzle, causing them to wear out quickly. Then difficult to mix in very hard alkaline water. then often clog nozzles and screens. Then residues may be visible on treated surface. Then last one, soluble powders. Soluble powder formulations look like wettable powders. However, when mixed with water, soluble powders dissolve readily and form a true solution, where wettable powder form a suspension. There is no additional agitation required. Then the amount of active ingredient in soluble powders range from 15 to 95%, and in wettable powder it is more than 50%. Then soluble powders have all the advantages of wettable powders and none of the disadvantages except the inhalation hazard during mixing. Few pesticides are available in this formulation because very few active ingredients are readily soluble in water. Okay. Here pesticide formulation over. We discussed both liquid and solid formulations. Friends, I hope you all get me. Thank you.